Hi, this is Michael with Back to the Future Trading, and this is another brilliant episode of NinjaTrader. Unplugged. One of the things that drives me crazy, and it used to drive me crazy when I was a customer and not a vendor, was when someone would try to explain how the market was trending and then it was consolidating for a while. And they tend to use things, words that I call wishy-washy language. Language. And it's very easy after the fact to spot a trend. It's very easy to say, whoa, look how it was trending here. And then, whoa, look how it was consolidating there. But one of the problems when you're first learning how to trade is you don't have hindsight. Things are happening to you in real time, and you can't go back magically from the future and look back on what happened and gain the insight after the fact that you would have had. And so there were a great many number of wonderful tools developed to help traders in the actual moment of price action to sort of understand what they were seeing and gain some insight into things like trend and consolidation. And one of those really awesome indicators is called the ADX, the Average Directional Movement Index. And ADX was developed by one of my technical indicator heroes, a gentleman named Wells Wilder. And I like him because he was a hometown hero. He lived in Greensboro, not too far from where I live now. And so there's some really great indicators out there. If you want to do some initial research, there's a great one in Investopedia. Just Google Investopedia ADX trend indicator, and this article will pop up. And there's some really great information here about how to identify when a market is trending and how to identify when it's consolidating. And let me give you some good heads up, because believe it or not, this indicator does come with NinjaTrader. It's part of your package. It's lumped in with all the other great free indicators. When you right click on your chart, you'll see that it's one of the very first ones at the top alphabetically. So I've got mine here set to plot as a bar, and I'll show you why here in a moment. I've changed the color to steel blue, and I've changed the default from 30 on the lower line to 25. Now, why did I do that? It's actually related to the chart in the Investopedia article. And what we tend to see here is that ADX is a thermometer of sorts. It measures trend strength. And Wilder was a brilliant technical indicator developer, and he really had some insights into the mathematics of market movements. And he really nailed down trend with regards to these ADX values. Now, you'll see here that 0 to 25 of an ADX value is an absent or weak trend. So when we see ADX 25 or below, the assumption is that the market really has no strength behind it. It's dead, it's limp, it's lifeless. It's just got nothing in it, no energy. But watch, above 25, there's a consensus among market analysts that the market is in a strong trend. And so I want you to see over here on our chart that we've developed that the lower horizontal line is at, in fact, 25. And so here's today's E-mini S&P price action. And I want you to see along the way from the open that there are moments where the trend crosses over the 25 barrier. It actually happened a few times here today. Put that right there. And so on and so forth. And this is just an E-mini S&P 3-minute chart. And there's a few things here, a few lessons that you can learn. Number one, ADX, as it's moving up, it doesn't matter if the trend is up or down. If the ADX is moving higher, it means whatever direction the market is moving in, the trend is increasing enough to pay attention. So I use the free indicator that I give you guys, the EMA slope color here. It's set to a 120 period EMA to tell me what direction is the slope of the market. What direction is the trend? and here red means down. So the ADX indicator at this point is explaining to me, hey, the trend is starting to increase in strength. And then right here, when we break 25, Wilder kind of speaks to us through the indicator and says, this thing's got some steam. The engine is really rolling now. And so a lot of traders might use this area in here as a place to look for, begin to start looking for trend entries. Okay, one of the other things that's important that is easy to see during the market versus having to go back after the fact and magically have all these insights. The heights of the ADX values when they peak start to increase. When the peaks are higher than the previous value. So this next peak you can see is higher. We're at 34, 35, and the previous high was at 32. We're seeing that the trend is increasing in strength as we go. So in much the same way that you would use price action with higher highs and higher lows, we have a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, and then a higher low. And then we reach a point with the ADX where we have a higher high. So each one of the peaks is telling us that the trend strength is increasing. But we know, like any market movement, that there's a point where the trend starts to break down. And so you'll see here that we start to come below the previous low of the ADX. So remember, we're using this like an internal barometer or thermometer. Picture the market like an old railroad steam locomotive, and this is the pressure of the market forces driving the trend. When you see that gauge start to dip down below, the indicator is more or less saying, hey, we're experiencing a lower low in the ADX retrace. When we pull back up, you'll notice here, this is a lower high. So we're moving progressively higher, and now we're seeing lower lows on the ADX, lower highs on the ADX. And look, lo and behold, without our magic after the fact glasses, we see as this is occurring that the market then goes in to a consolidation phase. So again, hindsight is 20/20. We need an ability in the moment, in the market, to understand, in conjunction with price action, which is fundamental, what's happening inside of the overall trend. Now that we have a thorough and complete understanding using an indicator that in real time versus after the fact is helping us gauge the strength of the trend versus when the market is consolidating, I want you to go one more step with me. We're going to use the same indicator, this EMA slope color, but I'm going to use it in a weird way. See, one of the things I want to do, we've already kind of determined, hey, when the market is above this level, the market is trending strong, right? So we can almost draw a green zone right here. This is an area that we're interested in. And when the market is below 25, it's one of those places where in the moment we can sort of say, maybe we just leave this area alone. Okay, so we've kind of gotten that from this so far. Thank you, Wells Wilder, wherever you are. Now, what about what's in here? How do we know when to look for key opportunities? Well, I'm going to take that same indicator, the EMA slope color. It's one of the free indicators in our Dropbox that I give you access to. And I'm going to use it a little differently. Where it says input series here, I'm going to click on that parameter and choose the ADX. But I'm going to change the period to 2. Make it very, very fast. So the EMA slope color, when I put the ADX through it, is going to monitor when ADX is starting to increase. Watch what happens when I get that indicator up on the screen here. Matter of fact, let's change it to a line. We're going to hit OK, make it 2 pixels big. Boom. Okay, so now watch when I drag it down below. So it's its own indicator down below here. But I can also drag it up onto the bar chart. So now I want you to think about what we were looking at now. This is a little confusing, but I trust that you can get through it. When the ADX breaks above the 25 line, we know that this little train is chugging really hard. And that's a very technical term, chugga. But now when we have the EMA slope color here, it's telling us when the strength is starting to increase again. So now think about it. Anywhere inside of this area, we're sort of agreeing that the market is not chopping. Same thing over here. Anywhere inside of this area, we're saying the market is not chopping. It's not consolidating. The trend is strong. But now we have this secondary indicator here telling us when it's weakening and when it's starting to increase again. So when it's green, when it's starting to slope up, it's telling us, hey, that downtrend is getting ready to fall apart one more time. And here's where it gets really interesting. We can take an arrow tool and more or less mark where is the EMA turning up or strong inside of our really strong downtrend. So I can put a red arrow here, and then you'll notice it changes from green to red to red to red to red to red. And then on this bar, the EMA turns green, telling me ADX is starting to increase again. We're in a very powerful trend. The trend took a little bit of a break, but now it's starting to do what? It's starting to increase in strength again. Same thing happens. It changes from green to red, and then on this bar right here, it changes to green again. It starts to go up. So we're seeing the market is in a strong downtrend. We're in that green zone, and the trend is picking up steam again inside of that zone. So green changes to red, changes to green. Not such a great signal. We catch the very bottom, the low of this move. But then the trend strength decreases, and then boom, on this bar right here, we get a green close. This candle closes, and the trend strength is starting to increase again. Same thing here, red, red, red. This candle closes, the trend strength is starting to increase again. Over on this side, we're above 25. The EMA is positive, meaning trend strength is increasing. Very small move down. And then you have one more shot at it up here. Trend strength is positive above the 25 and starting to increase again. So all of these red arrows inside of a strong trend are areas where we're seeing that trend strength start to increase even more. We don't have the benefit of hindsight. We can't come back and look hours after the fact and then magically transport ourselves through time and say, wow, that was a really strong trend. We don't know what the next bar is going to do. So when we use these tools, it's a way to take the discretion out of the market analysis. It helps us frame things inside of what's called an if-then statement. An if-then statement. So if the ADX is greater than 25 and the 2-period ADX is green, which is an increasing strength, then look for trend entries. And this takes all of the discretion out of it. We're not looking bar by bar. We're not having these conversations in our head. We're mechanizing everything down to an if-then statement. If the ADX is greater than 25 and the 2-period ADX that we've input through the EMA slope color is green, indicating even more strength is coming in that next wave of an up move or a down move, then we look for trend entries. And this is a way to take all of the discretion out of looking at the charts, incorporating it with standard price action. So I'm going to save this template in our Dropbox for you to play with, experiment with, and maybe monitor while the markets are moving live. You can apply this to any market, any time frame. If you wanted to change it to a crude chart on a 1 minute time frame, you can use that. No need to change any of the parameters, in which case if you come back and look today, you could see again, just use those same parameters and look for those areas where the trend strength is above 25, starting right here, and then follow the ADX to see where it starts to turn up. Again, this would be a place to start looking for entries in the next down move. Same thing as we progress over and over to the right. We're above the 25 line. The trend strength is decreasing, and then on this bar right here, the software is telling us, hey, this turned green. Good chance to look for another run down as this strength continues to gain in size. ADX telling us bar by bar what's happening internally to the trend. So how do you get this template? Getting the template is muy simple. You're going to go to this link, backtothefuturetrading.com/unplugged. I'm going to name the template 09/13/2016 ADX study. You're going to have to make sure that you've previously loaded one of the free indicators, the EMA slope color, into your NinjaTrader indicator list. Once you get to this link, NinjaTrader will send out the video link. It'll be backtothefuturetrading.com/unplugged. Just got to tell me who you are. Tell me what your first name is, what your email is. You hit submit, and then we'll send you a link to the Dropbox where you can download the indicators that we've used here today, as well as the template. Load it on your own chart. Tell me what you think. You can write to me through the website. I'd be happy to help you out. These guys are awesome. NinjaTrader, the most powerful trading platform for futures forex that we're aware of. We can do some pretty wicked things with it back on our side of the coin. If you want to know more about what we do and how we're able to use the power of NinjaTrader to predict what the market you trade is going to do in the future, simply click on our video demo, give us your first, last name, email address, tell us which markets you trade, and we'll send you a video demonstration of the tools we've developed that work hand in hand, part and parcel with this awesome trading platform. My name is Michael Leidick from Back to the Future Trading. On behalf of everyone here on my team, good trading, everyone, and we'll see you in the next lesson.